Today's discussion is going to be about Google Maps and Google Earth. And to start, we will open Google Maps. I do that by going to a new page or a new tab on my Google Chrome internet browser, coming over here to the menu, all the apps, and clicking Google Maps. When I do that, a map opens. Google knows where I am at the moment, which is in my house at 4380 Caminito Pintoresco in San Diego, near the intersection of Route 8 and Fairmont Avenue. Now let's show you a few things on this Google map that we'll be coming back to from time to time. First of all, in the lower right-hand corner, there are a bunch of icons, and let me tell you what some of them are. One of them is your location, and when I find that symbol on the map, it is here, and when I hover over it, it says what the address is, the address of my house. If I go back to the lower right, you'll see that there are two symbols, two icons for zoom capability, where you can zoom in on this map to a closer, detailed view or zoom back out. Notice that in the lower left-hand corner, there's a box that is labeled satellite. And when I click on that box, it changes this view from a map view, which you see here with various roads and freeways and other things on it, to a satellite view, which shows you the details of the area as a camera would see them from several thousand feet up. Notice one other thing. Way down here, right at the bottom, it says 3D Earth view is not available. You get that when you use Google Maps in my version of Google Chrome, my browser, my preferred browser. I don't know why that is. There is something incompatible with my version of Google Chrome and Google Earth. I will show you later, using another browser, how Google Earth works. Now let's go back to the map view, and I'll show you a couple of other things. Also, way down here in the lower right-hand corner is a bunch of little images that say show imagery. If I click there, I get a whole bunch of photos that various people have taken of things on this map. And when you come to each one of them, you'll see that it shows you a line going to the place where the picture was taken, right here at the stadium, for example, for this one. This one doesn't have a line. It may be, or that location may be buried under the images. This one over here is the Viejas Arena at San Diego State University. And this one here, it says Discover Core. I don't know where that is, but it's in a residential area east of the stadium. And over here is another item. Let's see. It says, no, doesn't tell me what it says. Does not have a label in the lower left-hand corner, but it is another item in San Diego State, in the San Diego State area. Now let's show you what I think Google Maps is best at and is most used and useful for. If I put my location, the address in here, which I have saved before and called home, so if I just type H, then I get one option, which is home with this address. When I put that in there, I get a picture of the street view of my house. It's behind the bushes, thank goodness. And I get some interesting options. One of the most interesting is nearby. When I click that, I can select restaurants nearby, and then the map shifts to show me some restaurants nearby. And a burger lounge, for example, Ponce's, that's a Mexican restaurant nearby, and when I hover over it, it shows me how to get there with that blue line. If I X out of that and go back to nearby and ask for hotels nearby, it shows me all sorts of hotels and the price of each one and how to get there. That's pretty useful in my opinion. But supposing we don't want restaurants or hotels and the other one on there was bars, supposing we just want directions to another place, like the Wesley Palms. So we put the place we want to go from or to, we click directions, and then we can put in a second location. And I will reverse this direction so it'll show me how to get from my home to the Wesley Palms. If I start typing, I could type in the address, obviously, but if I start typing W-E-S-L, aha, Wesley Palms, San Diego Retirement Community. If I put that in here, look what happens on the map. It shows me with the blue line the shortest way to get to the Wesley Palms, tells me how long it will take me to get there by car, and how far it is, 12.2 miles. It would even give me how to get there by bus. Actually, I have to walk from my house up to, I think that's Monroe Avenue, and then I have to catch a bus here, and change, probably there, or maybe, let's see what this says. I've never tried this before. Here's the San Diego State University Transit Center. That's how we're going to get there. Then we're going to take this route here, then here. It looks like that. Oh, here we go. You take, the System Green Line. That's the trolley. So you take buses and trolleys. Let's see, it's going to take a total of 2 hours and 19 minutes to get there by bus and trolley. But it can be done. Well, I'd prefer to go by car and take 17 minutes. Notice it shows you other ways to get there. If I take this blue line and drag it, whoops, sorry, it's not liking that. If I take this blue line and do that, it will show me how to get there going up Route 15 and over 52 and down 5, instead of the way it originally did. Now let's show you the Street View capability of Google Maps. Let's get out of the directions and go back to my location. There we are. Now, let's examine this little man. You notice that when I click on him, or hover over him, it says Browse Street View Images. If I click there, it shows me all the places that I can get Street View images by the blue lines. I need to take the little man and drag him. See, he hangs there like from a trapeze. And I need to drag him to some location, any place where there is a blue line. I will start at my house. And when I let go, the whole thing changes to be a street view of my street. And when I click on this arrow that's in the street, it moves me down that street a little bit. And from then on, I can use my left arrow to swing left, my right arrow to swing right, my up arrow to go down the street. Each time I click the up arrow, I jump down the street about 50 feet, and I can turn around and now use my up arrow to go up the street. And there is my house, right here. Now let's show you another couple of capabilities of Street View. Let's say that I want to go over and have a look at the Wesley Palms. I'm going to zoom out from my location. I'm going to come over here and just in the Pacific Beach area, I'm going to start clicking on this little green area, which I happen to know, whoops, is Kate Sessions Park. And when I go to the right of Kate Sessions Park and zoom in a little more, I find the Wesley Palms San Diego Retirement Community. And if I take the little brown man and drag him up here, you see that you can't get in. There's no blue lines. It's private property, so they did not map that with a street view. But if I drop him right there, I get the Wesley Palms and the entrance to the Wesley Palms. And if I swing around, I could go down the street and come to Soledad Mountain Road, etc., 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 and find all sorts of things in La Jolla, in the La Jolla area. But it's probably better to get out of that and to show you another area in the La Jolla area that you might find interesting. There are places where you can use Street View to look at places which are not streets. For example, right here. Here's the Cove in La Jolla. Here's George's at the Cove and La Valencia Hotel. If I take the little brown man and drag him up here where there is no, you notice no, sorry. There are no streets along here, but if I drop this guy right along the shore there, I get a view of a walkway, the Coast Walk Trail. And I can follow this on up here for as long as I want. There are other places along Pacific Beach in particular where they took the Google Map camera and walked it along some paths that give a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to view the scenery of our area. I love that. Now let me show you what you can do with a browser that does not say Google Earth not available. The first thing I'm going to do is to open Internet Explorer. And since I have Google Maps saved in my copy of Internet Explorer, I've saved it on my favorites bar. I will open it from there. And when I do, it opens it to my neighborhood. Well, now when I click Satellite, it does not say Google Earth not available. In fact, it says over here 3D. When I hover over that icon of 3D, it gives me a couple of options to show what Google Earth can do. The first one just says tilt the view. And when I click that, this whole area will slightly tilt. Now, if I go back to, well, let's see now. If I go back to this area and do what it says down here, which is hold the control key down and move your mouse. I'm holding the control key down and I'm moving my mouse, and you can see that it shows quite a bit of topography. In fact, over here, you cannot even see Fairmont Avenue because the bluff that is right near my complex is popped up and hiding that 4-lane divided highway. Well, let me untilt this area and go back rather closely to my neighborhood and zoom in. That is right about here. So let's zoom in, and once again I'll reposition it somewhat to the center. Zoom in some more. Oops, sorry. Zoom in. Zoom in again. And there is my driveway. Well, now when I hold the control key down and tilt, look at the trees. Look at the trees. Look at this large tree hiding my whole house. I have gone out and looked at those trees individually, and they are right where they really are. Now, if I let go of the control key and see if I can turn this. Nope. There. I wanted to show you that this complex was built in a ravine, and it makes this kind of topography makes the things that Google Earth can do quite evident. Now let's look at a couple of other places where the topography or the construction makes for interesting 3D viewing, which is what Google Earth does. I'm going to change the location by dragging until we get over here to the stadium. And then I'm going to zoom in somewhat and click the 3D over here. And when I do that, I get that tilt view. Now I'm going to hold down my control key and tilt it some more, and then zoom in some more with my mouse wheel. Whoops, you have to push out on the mouse wheel to zoom in. Seems kind of counterintuitive. And then I can look around like this and get some really interesting views of the stadium. And you can see over here that Google Earth is filling in the details of some of these shapes. It takes a lot of processing power to gather all that information and display it accurately. Now let's look at another place in San Diego, and to do that I'm going to go back to 2D by clicking over here where it says 2D, and that puts me into the overhead view. I'm going to zoom way out and come down here to, where am I? Here's North Island. Here's Point Loma. Aha. Here's Route 5. I want to zoom in on downtown San Diego, right about there. So, there we are. Now, with that in the center, I'm going to click 3D again, which tilts it. And I'm going to hold the control key down and tilt it some more, and zoom in some more. And here you can see, and now I'm holding the control key down so I can do the whole 3D thing. And you can now see any view you like of downtown San Diego, or the convention center. Wait a minute, zoom out a little bit. Yeah, there's the convention center right there. Any place where you have lots of tall construction or lots of detailed topography, like a mountain area, Google Earth can provide some fascinating views. One more thing before I go. Let me go back to the map view. Which takes us out of Google Earth and leaves us in downtown. I showed you how I got to Google Earth and Google Maps because I had saved them before on my computer. If you haven't done that, you can still get there. You just type in any search place you want. You can search using Bing or Google or whatever you use for search. But the point is that if you type Google Maps and type search, you will get in Google, you will get a link to go to Google Maps, and if you click there in Internet Explorer, which I'm in right now, or in Firefox, or in Google Earth, you will go to the same place that I got to in a different way, a set of maps. That's it. I hope this has helped you. I hope this has made you curious, and I hope you will spend some time wandering around in the two-dimension and three-dimensional capabilities of Google Maps and Google Earth.